filters, fillers, injections, trying to block out the sun, stop the madness. What do all these things have in common? They're all about trying to change things that are actually perfect. So what do I mean by this? Watch the video now to find out. Let's get to it. What's happening, YouTube fam? Jared Weiss back here with another video on the Jared and James channel. And if you guys didn't know, that must mean that you're not subscribed to the channel, so you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, let me know what you guys think of this video, let me know what you guys think of all my content, follow me on all platforms. So first off, peep the new shirt. We got supporting one of my favorite podcasters, Sam Tripoli. It always feels good to be able to support people who you actually believe in and who are actually putting out a good message into the world, speaking truth. So anyways, Sam Tripoli, awesome shirt, love it. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about how there's actually a lot of perfection within life's perceived imperfections, whether it be nature, whether it be our looks, whether it be our reactions to pain, whether it be our artwork, whether it be my speech. All these things that are perceived flaws, I've come to realize actually have a lot of perfection found within there. And so I'm hoping that by hearing this message, you guys can begin to accept some of these things as perfect as they are and realize that, like, you don't need to be correcting all these things all the time. And if you actually learn to accept them as they are, or as they are right now, then this will actually help you, give you a new perspective that will ultimately give you more appreciation and gratitude as you go on through your life. First off, when it comes to our looks, people these days are always using fillers, filters, injections, and all this unnatural stuff to conform to this idea of a perfect look in the eyes of society.
It says beauty divine. How bad can it be?
But like, what actually is perfect? Are we just deceiving ourselves into thinking that, like, the standard of beauty is only what celebrities believe it to be, or only what pop culture believes it to be? I think that actually some of our perceived flaws are actually perfect in the eyes of others.
For the record, I'm not disappointed. You know, you said I would be disappointed when I met you, but I'm not. You have a birthmark. So what? Why would that scare me?
And if we only were able to be more confident with these and to really strut our stuff, so to speak, we can actually make these perceived flaws look great, which is one thing that I believe I've actually managed to do with my severe speech issues, which have come as a result of my life-threatening illness, which you guys all know about if you've been watching me. If not, you could check out some of my past videos on this. But like, one thing like I actually realized by doing the podcast with Miguel recently is that, as Miguel mentioned, by seeing me appearing as so confident despite having all these speech issues, I've inspired him to be more confident in everything that he's doing, and I've inspired him to want to speak more and to make more content himself because he sees me being confident in spite of having these flaws. But like, I've managed to almost make them look good on me.
The fact that people with speech impediments can still be able to start that conversation, get out there, you know, show, you know, who they are, you know, pretty much. It's just a remarkable thing, and it's something that, you know, I learned that, and it's crazy how I met you right after. Really? And like, you're the physical sense of that, like you're the physical being of what I learned this summer.
It was meant to be.
So it was like crazy how I met you, and like seeing the confidence you walk around with is why I say, you know, it gives me a bit more confidence to be who I am when I'm with you. You know, because of that. And
as Zach Cummings, who was on one of the Journey podcast members from the podcast I did with Jake and Zach a few months ago, he was saying to me how he couldn't believe how I'm essentially acting as if nothing happened, as if I'm just like going on about my life, being confident in who I am, making content, following my purpose, following my passions. So what I think I'm doing is that I'm showing that whatever God wants to use the speech impediment for, I'm making it happen. I'm showing people how vulnerable I could be. So obviously, for most of my full YouTube videos, I do edit most of my speech issues out. But like, it's not because I'm not comfortable with my speech issues. It's more so like to make the videos more easily watchable and to fully spread my message out there. But like, I do purposely occasionally leave some of my stammer and stutter in there, show you guys what I'm going through, and show you what I'm overcoming in doing this. But like, I fully believe after having gone through this for all these years. Like, God wants to use my struggles for a reason. There's a purpose, there's a rhyme and reason in all this. And I mean, Moses had getting more biblical, Moses had a stammer and stutter, but like, he was this great orator. So what I've come to realize is, why can't I do the same thing? Why can't I be this amazing orator who spreads my message to the people, who helps all these people out? I don't see why not. It hasn't stopped me at this point, so like, why is it gonna stop me now? It will only stop me if I use this flaw and imperfection as a reason to not speak up.
You can't stop it. The only thing hard enough to penetrate it is itself.
As a reason to hide away, and trust me, I do struggle with it a lot. There are definitely situations where I'm uncomfortable with speaking to people, especially those who don't make me feel very comfortable. But like, this past few years, I've gotten so much better at overcoming this perceived flaw, and I've been putting myself out there more and more. And what I've realized is that the more I put myself out there, the more positive energy I'm actually receiving in return.
It goes to biblical principle: the more you give, the more you receive.
And the more people I'm able to connect with and inspire and help out. And as you guys know, through the powers of holistic health, and through all my tools, and through the powers of nature, through everything that I'm doing action-wise, and as I continue to detoxify the body to heal the brain, I am working on fully healing my body from all these health issues. And so I definitely believe one day, when the time is right, when I've done all the necessary healing, whenever God believes the right time for me is, I do believe one day, hopefully soon enough, I will ultimately be able to move past these speech issues, and I will ultimately overcome them. And I definitely see that day coming soon. But as James has helped me realize recently, he was saying to me how this hasn't stopped me to this point. So like, by me showing this imperfection to everyone, I'm actually the perfect person to help people through whatever they're going through.
I wasn't just the right guy for the job, I was the perfect guy for the job.
I can understand a lot of struggles because of everything that I've been through. So like, this actually makes me the perfect imperfection in this world to help a lot of people. The next example I want to get into. Feeling pain is actually a perfect response to situations such as physical injuries, such as emotional struggles. But yet society wants you to push that away. That's why there's all these commercials telling you how to medicate it and like how to essentially mask the symptoms, rather than to actually feel that pain fully and understand what it's trying to teach you. Because pain can actually be an amazing teacher. And so once again, it's this imperfection that's actually done perfectly as this way to either get you to make a change, or to tell you to fully feel it.
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
And then allow it to pass through you. Because all emotions need to be felt and they all have a purpose, but like, it's up to you to fully feel them. See if there's a lesson that needs to be learned there. See if there's a change in your environment that could bring about more positive changes. But then to understand that by pushing it away, you're not actually getting rid of the problem. You're actually just going to make it go deeper into you, and then it's ultimately going to manifest in other ways. Next, when we get sick, we've been taught that this actually means that our body messed up, rather than realizing what harmful inputs went into it, which is, as I've spoken about in the past, this idea behind terrain theory versus germ theory, which is why I believe in terrain, because for many reasons, and you guys could do your research on this if you don't believe me, but for many years I was actually convinced that my body messed up, and that was the reason why I ended up going through my whole life learning on this situation. But like, what I actually learned was that my body was actually responding perfectly to all these harmful inputs it was given as part of the treatment, and others, which I detail in my book, which I'm still working on, and as I've spoken about here in the past, such as certain pharmaceuticals that like I didn't realize were so dangerous because they were given to me by experts, doctors, etc., etc. But like, what I learned is that sickness is actually your body's perfect response to harmful inputs, and it's actually the way that your body tries to keep you alive and to help you adapt to your environment. So this actually isn't a bad thing. Sickness is actually helping your body overcome whatever environmental dangers are out there. Or it could be telling you to take a rest, or it could be telling you to change your diet, to put more positive people into your life, to take better care of yourself, to move more. There's so many things that sickness is actually telling you, but like, if you're just so focused on suppressing the symptoms or getting rid of this illness right away, rather than understanding what it's trying to teach you, you're gonna end up fighting against nature and fighting against natural laws, and then you're gonna end up paying for it with more chronic disease and more pain and more suffering. But when we actually realize that God made us all perfect and we have these incredible bodies with the power for self-healing, when we actually place our bodies in the right environments, we can actually overcome these things, which is what I've been doing from these incurable issues for these past several years. I've been understanding more and more how every input has a certain output, and so my body was designed perfectly, but like it's up to me to try to get in tune with it and find out what it needs and listen to it more, so that this way I can give my body all the tools it needs to be able to go along with whatever my body is trying to do to heal itself. This doesn't mean medications, doesn't mean more toxic inputs to push the problems deeper and deeper. This means understanding natural laws and understanding how the body actually operates in this perfect way, in spite of the uncomfortable stuff that comes with detoxing, that comes with healing. And it's all part of this perfect process that feels imperfect. But I think if we all realize everything that our body encounters and everything that our body does to keep us alive in spite of this toxic environment and in spite of the many dangers that are out in this world, I think we actually have this appreciation for the body's perfectness in dealing with all these imperfections. One of the hardest parts during my whole life-threatening illness situation, especially during the acute phase, was thinking that all this happened randomly and that there was no rhyme or reason behind it. And like, sometimes
you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards.
You don't see the reason right away, and you don't understand why this is all happening to you. But like, then if you start to make meaning out of your struggles, then maybe you can actually accept that you're the perfect person to go through this, because now you could use that situation to help others and to follow your purpose and to use your free will to create the most amazing life of your dreams. Moving right along, nature is absolutely perfect. Nature has the self-healing powers just as all humans do, but yet man tries to correct it, which is for nefarious reasons, which, as you guys who've watched any of my Hard Truths videos know, I go hard on this. We go deep, homeboy, into all that stuff. But when man tries to do things such as block out the sun, when man tries to do things such as add fluoride to the water, or medicate humans rather than giving them natural powers, natural healing ability, rather than making them realize how special they are, and how if they actually did things going along with natural laws, they wouldn't be dealing with all these issues, with all these health problems, with all these things that are actually manifesting in their lives and coming about due to this desire to control nature. Things such as blocking out the sun, which is a ludicrous idea, makes absolutely zero sense because the sun has so many health benefits for us. And no, the sun is not causing any damage to our world. There's obviously nefarious reasons why these people are doing it, as I've mentioned in the past. But like, as Bill Gates, the Thanos, is often saying, the world needs correction.
This universe is finite, its resources finite. If life is left unchecked, life will cease to exist. It needs correction.
You don't know that!
And it's up to these rich people to be doing this correction. Sounds a bit odd to me. I'm not buying it. But what if you were actually trying to correct all these things in your life that actually don't need correction because they're all perfect and the timing is perfect for them to be happening? And so what if it was just up to you to sit back, take a breath, and appreciate everything that you have right now, appreciate who you are as a person and the person who you're ultimately becoming, and rather than trying to micromanage everything in your life, what if you just had to understand the brilliance in everything, the brilliance in God's timing, the brilliance of nature, and then that's ultimately going to get you to your ultimate goals. I'm someone who's always been a perfectionist, so I understand how hard it is to give up some of this control, to make everything just precisely as you want it. And to be honest, I'm a proud perfectionist. I enjoy the mindset that it gives me, but there are aspects of it that I need to give up control to and let up some of the reins. I've come to realize that it's actually important for me to not be forcing the things to happen exactly the way I want it to, exactly at the time I want it to, and to actually start accepting some things as they are or as they are right now, and understanding that like the ultimate changes that I want to have happen are going to take time. And so everything that's happening right now is actually perfect, and even if it's not, if I believe it is, then I'm gonna use these difficulties, use these imperfections to ultimately make meaning out of my struggle and to get closer to my purpose. God's timing is brilliant, which is why I know I'm learning everything I have to and being taught everything I need in order for me to become my best self, which also includes me using my free will to the best of my abilities. But getting to where I want doesn't come by fighting against nature, doesn't come by going against what I'm going through. It actually is about learning to ride the waves rather than to be forcing the waves to go away. I've come to learn how important it is to accept what I'm going through and understand that there is a reason for it. There's a reason behind it. And that doesn't mean that I don't struggle with it, because of course I struggle with my speech issue still. Of course I still have other uncomfortable things that I'm still going through and I'm still dealing with. But like, what I do realize is that I can make it work, and I can find perfection within imperfections, and I can ultimately find meaning within it all and accept what can't be controlled and use it all into making my experience what it needs to be. Because as I'm always saying, if I can show people what can be done with imperfect circumstances, when I'm not feeling my best, when things aren't going the exact way I want them to, I can be the reason why others don't give up and believe in what they can accomplish too. You have to embody the person who you wish to become before you actually get to that place. You don't just arrive there just by wishing it. You get there by bringing more of that person into your life every day, and also starting by loving yourself as you are and realizing how much you can accomplish just by being exactly where you are and being exactly where you're at right now. Be where your feet are, be present, and learn to love all of your imperfections, all of your flaws. And this isn't me saying that people who use filters or people who try to change things about their appearance should never do that, or that they're bad people. I mean, if doing those things makes you feel better about yourself, if doing those things makes you feel more beautiful, then by all means go ahead and do them. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying that if we actually learned to find the perfection within our imperfections, I think our lives will be much more fulfilling, and we'd be able to appreciate who we are right now rather than wishing to be somebody else or wishing to conform to society's standards for what you're supposed to be or for what you're supposed to look like, or trying to push away pain and trying to push away symptoms rather than going along with them, feeling them to the fullest, trying to see what they're trying to teach you, and then seeing if anything does need to be done, or if it's just a matter of patience and living through it. What we do control over, what we can change, is our environment, our local surroundings, our inputs, because we do have a choice over the majority of our inputs. They come into our body, they come into our life. But what we can't change is the laws of nature. We can't change how much patience we need in order to fully heal. As I've learned, you can't cheat the process. And when you do try to fight against nature, and when you try to change too much all at once, you end up losing and you end up paying for it. Same thing goes for workouts. If you try to work out too much, too hard, overtrain, you're gonna get hurt for it and you're gonna pay for it. And also, there's no such thing as like perfect squat form. There's no such thing as a perfect basketball shot. But everyone can make those things work for them. Maybe there isn't this perfect look or ideal sense of beauty, but if you make it work for you, you can make your flaws seem as if they're supposed to be there, and you could realize them as perfect and as part of your experience. As I spoke about in the video with Miguel, you can have 100 people shooting a basketball and they're all going to shoot it a different way, but like all those shots could still go in. So what does that tell you? Maybe all of your perceived imperfections, all of your perceived things that you think make you ugly or things that make you not attractive, maybe it's just a matter of making them work for you. All these kids out there, all these girls out there, when you think that you have to look a certain way, act a certain way, based on what you see on TV, based on what you see on social media, I know how hard it is. Or even for fitness people who are always trying to conform to looking like these people who are on steroids do, or to using filters. It's not easy to accept your best version of yourself as the perfect thing that it is, but it's an important step in becoming your happiest, most fulfilled self, is accepting that your best work is perfect in the eyes of God. Your life is perfect for you based on where you're at right now. Start accepting that. Take control of the things that you do have control over. Use your free will to your advantage, and everything else leave up to the perfections of the world, perfections of the universe. And I promise you, even for a perfectionist like myself, it's going to make things a lot easier when it comes to achieving our goals, because we're not going to be forcing things to happen before we're ready, and then we're not going to get hurt for it. And one last line I want to leave you guys with is, I believe this is actually from a J. Cole song, Love Yours. There's beauty in the struggle and ugliness in the success. So if you could find beauty even when going through your toughest times, even when you don't think that you look amazing because you're not where you want to be yet, even if you have speech issues like myself and you're seeing this as a reason to not speak up, remember, there is a beauty in the struggle, and there's always an opportunity to use your struggles to help people and to catapult you to your ultimate success and to get you to your destination. But like, live in the moment, appreciate yourself as you are right now, and find perfection within all the imperfections. But like loving yourself as you are doesn't mean that you also can't be striving for more and that you shouldn't be going after more and leveling up your life every day. There's a balance that has to be struck there. I'm sure if you guys watch my videos, you guys could find that balance. Accepting your current imperfections as you are is not the same as settling for mediocrity and settling for less than your best. As I said earlier in this video, just because I'm accepting my current speech issues and my current health situation as is right now, and understanding the perfect timing in it all and everything that nature and that I have to go through in order to ultimately reach the destination of feeling 100% better, that doesn't mean that I shouldn't be striving to heal and striving to become 0.1% better every day, and to add those up, to add up all the inputs and using all the tools at my disposal and all the tools from nature that I know about to help me get to the goal of my perfect health or of my fully healed self. Start making more things work for you. Start realizing that there actually is a lot of perfection to all these perceived imperfections, whether in our lives, whether in our bodies. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed today's message. Hope this resonates with you. Hope you guys found it inspiring, and I love you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, drop a like, drop a comment. We out here. Peace.